accidental death.
91.5 Real FM got you covered.
You tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes, yeah. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over.
From the north, covering south, east, and west. This is Real FM.
Tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes, yeah. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over. They unleash their lawyer. Set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley.
But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw.
I don't need come close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle
Now,
Stop fooling the people. The country taking and beating. So me plea are repeating.
go
They're like a natural disaster.
Now.
10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas
and down on their knees.
And I'm begging, now we and I did one week. From the side to the country, streets turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing, now this is my humble petition. Announce the date for election, go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess.
Before things fall apart and the riot starts.
Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation.
Go
To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas
and
and
down on their knees.
And I'm begging, go now. They try to stick me with me. They are more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Please, Mrs. Kamla. Take Munila and Sharma, go now, please. Them and them minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick. Swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni. Sweet man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful,
Gone through it to pull.
don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they just follow.
Now,
Before we regret tomorrow, please. You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample. Go. It's only vice they desire.
Now.
Before the 5 years expire, like a dog with fleas always oral, highly immoral. They let the good doctor starve to death. Used to court him, once support him, no road to point for him. But once in power, they quickly forget. They love confrontation, so no mediation. The case by the Privy Council, but the warriors is settled. You see, you could make a fortune, filling up a lagoon. The environment is boosted,
Out is people too.
is why I want them go. With them old lies they peddling now, it's only PR they selling. They wouldn't tell me the whole truth. The man just wanted a root. Before they carve out a mountain, before the cost we start counting like a dog with fleas, a dog on their knees. And I beg it, go now. Let's get the contract. Who profit from the kickback? Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I sing it. Tell Munilal and Suruj, it's best they seek refuge. Go now, please.
From the north, covering south, east, and west. This is Real FM.
Jason Joseph, Big J does say, I want to fall. Me, I want to fall. I want to stand up and sing. Everything appeared so easy for the new PM in the city. I say this man is a magician with his golden pen in his hand. See me waiting for miracles, but all I get in is basket and brambles. With lawyer tactics so he could deceive, cause we so gullible and so naive. By the stroke of a pen, massive increase in salaries. They were broke, so no more money worry. By the stroke of a pen, a whole family on the breadline. A special need child, he was only 9. By the stroke of a pen, embezzlement in lotto, so you had to make Laco go. By the stroke of a pen, the bus flies in helicopter to see kayaks wet in rainwater. The pen never drink, the pen never smoke, but somehow that pen catch a stroke. I say this man can be serious, like he out to papi show us. Running our country is no game. It's not about the likes and fame. You promise sun, wind and rain. What or not, you won't promise again. And in the same breath, you're changing your mind. No paper to be signed. By the stroke of a pen, free money in GDP, but you must be in certain category. By the stroke of a pen, Chinese houses were snatched away. 70,000 they cannot pay. By the stroke of a pen, we planting only black pepper, forget coconut, meg and banana. By the stroke of a pen, make me an ambassador to Dubai, China or Russia. What happened to the damn pen? I don't know. Maybe the ink just stopped flowing.
Igwe. What a gone youth, Devon.
Yes, Master Carl Igwe.
Independent Talk for the 6th day of October, Sunday, 2024. Grenada still remains my constituency. Here is my parliament. And I'm the people's spokesperson, ably assisted today by Devon and Igwe. Blessed by the Ancient of Days. My purpose here, Igwe and Devon, is to bring people the facts. They could fact check me, and at the end of the day, my other purpose is to ensure that information reach the people So the next time we have election, they go make the decision to get rid of the National Democratic Congress. Facts has one side. Opinion matters not. What you do with the facts is a matter entirely for you, but I hope it will help you to make better and more informed decisions. I'm here to advocate for truth and for justice, even when it don't affect me personally. Because I believe justice delayed is justice denied. No matter what happens here on in, truth and justice will be on my side. And history will record me on the right side. I'm here not to be a flatterer or to be an undue praiser for anybody, but to speak the truth, no matter what. I'm here to advocate for those who cannot do it for themselves, like the marginalized, the poor, the vulnerable, the people under pressure in Carriacou and Grenada and Petit Martinique. I'm here to bring hope to those people who are hurting by the actions of this government, the so-called poor people terrorist government. All legal currency and legal tender is unvarnished information, truth, and facts. Where shame is absent, anything could happen. And then when you saw the president of the GUT in recent days, you saw and heard him.
Yeah.
And he was on social media with the conditions of the students under the tent in the hot sun. So it was not me about the whole thing. So we're here today to continue to bring information and truth to the people. Devon.
Yes, Master Carl. Blessed afternoon to all our listeners and viewers. And again, welcome all to another of the series of independent talks where we give you information truthful, right, without no fear nor favor. And so on. It is important for us to ensure that in doing so that we reach and target persons who may not be clear, right, of what is going on in our country. So many things is happening that you gotta be fast to pick up on so much of the things that is going on. But my call to begin with today is the whole call of a united people can never be defeated. Right? Whether it's a nation, whether it's an organization. And in our case, right, NNP as an organization, I start off on this note urging all our people, all our supporters, all our members. The key word in going forward is unity that brings strength. Let us not be basically blindsided by all the utterance and the talk by others trying to create disunity among our party. We are a firm party, and we would ensure that this organization continues to grow strong. There have been all sorts of chatter all over the place about, NNP in this and NNP in that and whatever. But you know what is so important? That NNP is being brought to the forefront at this point in time, understanding that Grenada needs to be rescued. Because we are the only organization, the only political organization over the last 40 years who has demonstrated the love for people, the care for people, and has delivered when it comes to serving our people. So we have to be proud. And we did that as a united and organized party. We have to continue along that road. 40 years. And there's a lot that we can talk about for this 40 years. But I want us to focus on ensuring going forward that we remain united and strong, because the people of Grenada depends on us. They are depending on us to rescue our country one more time. It's no secret what is going on. The nepotism, right? The worthlessness that is, going through by our people, put down by this present government. The people are bawling. NNP has always been there to listen to the cries and ensure that a plan is put in place to take Grenada forward. So today, and moving forward, I urge all of us in NNP, supporters, well-wishers, sympathizers, let us continue to run on this train. Let us continue to focus on what Grenada needs at this point in time. And let us deliver. Let us ensure that we have our people behind us. Let us ensure that we do the work on the ground, the voters list, the canvassing. Let us ensure that we encourage every 18-year-old to register and be part of this process. This is not a process where we want to leave anyone behind. Everyone on board, because Grenada needs us at this point in time. A blessed evening to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. We continue to plead your cause, right? We continue to hear the cries that you are crying out every day and night, especially when the rain comes. You are not forgotten, and we will make it our duty to ensure that we continue to talk about the struggles that you are going on at this point in time. The students, the homeless persons, the persons without roof, nowhere to live. 3 months now, and there is no help, no decent help in sight for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So yes, we hear your cry, and we will continue to plead your cause whenever and however. Mr. Carl?
Igwe. Devon, that was good advice. Now the saga continues, and I'll do something here now. Browsing through social media, I bounce upon a particular post which I like, and I want to share part of it. I want to give all the kudos and credence to one Brenda Baptiste, or Baptiste, I don't know. And she encapsulated the whole situation with the payment of teachers and the school situation in Carriacou. And she asked some salient questions, which I believe all of us should be asking. And as she quite point out, we ought not to be only blaming, but be part of the solutions going forward.
Yeah.
And I'll go reading part, paraphrase really. In the teachers' late payment situation and the Carriacou school infrastructure situation, she had it with what's the problem? What are the actions taken? And the result derived so far. I think all of us, as concerned citizens and the powers that be, ought to take in those 3 questions into consideration. Because we believe the teachers and the students of Carrico deserve the very best. So I hope conventional wisdom will happen. I browse through again and you see the day persons stop bring complaints to us, Devon, is the day that we should know that that person ceased to believe in us. They ceased to believe that we could help. Yeah. And they ceased to believe that we care. So as long as they're complaining to us, we know that they believe we could help them.
Yes. And we have a duty to continue to help.
Now, again on social media, there's this thing going around. A secondary school teacher was asked the following questions and gave the following answers, Devon. With NDC's transformation agenda, name some of the major transformational achievements of the NDC. So basically, what is the antecedents of the NDC in the last 2 years? And it is quite interesting and amazing that most of the issues here are the issues we highlight on this station.
Every program.
1, the minister's increase in salary twice in 1 year. Tax free.
That is historic.
The NDC continues to take credit for NP negotiated. Well, government is a continuum. And at least they continue in some of the projects, Devon.
Yeah.
Well, the travel budget, because when they asked the Minister of Finance, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, he refused to give us the number. He says some people just pay for that. And then we asked, well, if people paying for your travels, have you reported that to the Integrity Commission? Yeah. Or is it quid pro quo? They're giving you that for something else?
Yeah. Or if it's reflected in the budget.
We know how the whole situation, if we could give you for less, why cap it at 15? And we know it more than 15 now.
Yeah.
The whole bars and vendors for the Spice Mass Corporation. Real transformation. Paying the ambassador living in Dubai kids' school fees while kids in Grenadian school can get a heart really hungry. You transformation.
That's a significant, a serious issue, you know, right? Where you have one person and his family, you know, I mean, being basically accommodated by the government, right? And then you have thousands of our own children who are not being fed in school.
Quid pro quo is to give something for something. So, you see, the Prime Minister is true to formula. He says, whenever you see strange things happening, find out who paid for the rally and the big fete. So if we are to look into that particular situation, I think we should investigate it whether this gentleman or our family paid for any rally and big fete. Yeah. And then we go know.
We'll understand much better.
Disrespect kayak people, in particular public workers, teachers after Hurricane Beryl because they were being paid. And they say they're getting money and they could buy water. Teachers and the whole issue, and I mentioned it, all the salary, 3 months and so on. The whole Molyneux Road project changing design, and every day they're moving the goalpost.
And you know, talking about this Molyneux project, it could bring to mind another project that they stopped immediately as they came in. Is the River Road project. And look at what is going on.
The Chinese houses, they call them the condominium. Vulnerable citizens can get it. They take back some houses where they give people access to in Carrico. Well, we hosting all kind of ceremony with the country money for certain critters from the dirty lagoon. Fire people who they perceive is NNP. The whole situation in the hospital with babies dying, they don't telling us the truth. The CRIF money being misused. Ron Redhead was fired for reckless behavior and lies, and Jonathan, because he didn't want to, they say, sign check for ghost companies, ignoring the glaring corruption in law too, lying on everything, the cess money. We don't know. Marshall boss. Susu, what I say? Bangladesh boss, Susu boss, that's Susu boss. Yeah. The GDB, minister getting loan. Ministers getting loan. Board members getting loan. The lies told about the Chinese houses, selling Grenadian passport. They're trying to silence NNP people. What kind of shopping is going on? Too much out there, man.
Yeah, too much. I mean, in 2 years, the amount of, human atrocities that was committed on our people, it's amazing, you know. And so, and still for all, there are a lot of persons who continue to defend the worthlessness of these group of politicians. Their own families are being victimized, their friends, co-workers, yet for all they continue to support and even shut their mouths, not voicing their opinions about what is about the wrong that is going on.
The champion of morality, the bastion of good governance and accountability, the man who acts in the capacity of Governor General, was on one of the social media platforms, and he was raining down fire on the NNP. What you call him, a criminal, some syndicate or something to that. I don't want to misuse on that. But my question is, I need Prime Minister Tillman Thomas, as he then was, to ask Dennis Matthew Cornwall and Deacon Mitchell for me, because he seems to be Mr. Moral and Mr. Ethics. Ask them if they are still CBI agents or if they are beneficial owners of CBI agent firms. I need him to ask Dennis Cornwall, is he receiving, or how much money has he received in the last 835 days or 27 months and 13 days from the CBI? And if yes, how much has he received? And if so, what was done with the money received? Was any house or houses or housing assistant been given by him with CBI money? We asking, we don't know. But the people want to know. But Mr. Tillman Thomas could ask those questions for us. So, Brother Tilly, please, do the Grenadian public a favor by asking the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance, the Chancellor of the Exchequer. And I know the Chancellor of the Exchequer listening.
Oh, yes.
So, write again. What is the number to call again?
4420175.
4420175. You could call to Chancellor of the Exchequer.
We would love to have a conversation.
And tell us how much money you made from CBI in the past 835 days. Or you could make maths. The last 27 months and 13 days. Tell us. We want to hear it from you.
Make the damn maths.
Because the people ask, if you receive any money, what was done with such funds, if yes? And they want to know if any housing assistance was given. If any $20,000 housing assistance was given, we don't know. So we asking. We don't brain. We don't put any foot in our mouth. We just want to know. Because we know out of the CBI arrangement, any investor that need help, what do you call it in? Concession, has to speak to the Minister of Finance, which you, sir, is the holder of that portfolio. And with corruption ripe in this administration, the cesspit of corruption, we want to know how much money you make from the CBI in the last 835 days. Because we don't want an investor to apply for citizenship and you or your company happens to be the one to deal with or to treat with. And then that same investor has to come to you for concessions. Did you think about him?
He get sticky.
Mr. Thomas asked the Prime Minister the same thing because he is the chairman of the cabinet. And the cabinet determines how the CBI program is run. Added to that, he's the Minister of National Security. And he's the one that gives the final signature to someone who qualifies. With corruption is the cry. With corruption 2.0. And with absolute corruption. Mr. Thomas, we need you to ask those questions. Because Dennis listening and he won't call the station and tell us. Deacon listening and he won't call the station and tell us. So you, Mr. Tillman, is the last hope. And you is a man that go to church, so I like to speak to you people in a language I don't understand. The Ancient of Days counted on Adam. He counted on Cain. He counted on Judas. But he was the same. So Mr. Thomas, go tell the world, I'm counting on you. Because the Grenadian people need the information to know if their man is still CBI agent or how much money they make in the last 835 days from the CBI. Or if there are any beneficial owners to CBI companies. Because their part in the food chain with the investors got to interface with them. Imagine that. The investors interfacing with the Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister, who will be, or who could be, or who we don't know, or who was CBI agent Devon, and beneficial owners to CBI companies. So we want to know.
You know, and Master Cal, understanding the importance of security in situations like that, the whole question of CBI, right? We see how, we see how the whole system is being neglected and being passed over by this present group of politicians, because there are laws and rules that's supposed to be governing the CBI, just like the Grenada Development Bank. And what we see is that these ministers, led by the Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, right, is basically continuing to break the laws of our country.
With impunity.
And it seems like a majority of our people are silent about that. We take this thing as joke. Our national security is being compromised by a group of unfit politicians in office. Right? It is a serious issue that we are facing. For the last 2 years, Grenadians have no idea as to who are the holders of our passport and how much money that they have paid for it. Right? This is a serious thing. And then you had, a couple of years ago, you have the same at President Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs setting down all sorts of guidelines of what's supposed to happen and what not supposed to happen when it comes to CBI. Lo and behold, you have her who is a legal advisor to government, to cabinet, right? Allowing the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance and maybe others to continue to break the laws of this country when it comes to CBI. Right? It is a serious issue, and we continue to take this thing for granted. One day we will wake up and find out that a number of persons that have Grenadian passports, right, are involved in some sort of, clandestine scheme or whatever. Right? As a people, we need to pay more attention to what these guys are doing. Right? If they can blatantly, in 1 year, raise their salary twice, and at the same time continue to underpay the same workers that they claim that they're fighting for, you have to be on your guards. We have to be on our P's and Q's and our guards as to what these guys are doing. They continue to do things to enrich and to benefit themselves, neglecting the mass of our people. We need to wake up. This CBI thing with the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance is not something that we will let go away. We will continue to champion that cause and to share information to the Grenadian people when it comes to that.
All the boast about the same CBI and $1 billion in CBI. But lo and behold, Dennis Cornwall has announced that the government anticipated that the escape clause of the Fiscal Resiliency Act will continue for 2025 because the government will still be recovering from the impact of Hurricane Beryl, which devastated the island on July 1st.
Even how that statement is being crafted.
To support the immediate recovery in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl, we have taken the decision to temporarily suspend the public debt target and primary balance rules under the Fiscal Resiliency Act. We anticipate a further suspension will be required in 2025 as recovery and reconstruction efforts accelerate. Now, you have something there from Lennox Andrew. You have 2 clips from Lennox Andrew. I need to play that clip in response to that because we must balance out that whole discussion. Because somebody not telling us the truth. Some people lying, we have to ask where the money go.
It is true, Mr. Speaker, that when we came into office, we met plenty money.
So,
and the CES had plenty money.
So the money in CES, the Susuad boss. CES is the Susuad boss. Because they say Bang does boss, Susu doesn't boss. But CES is the Susuad boss. We have the empirical evidence. They can't get away from that. Show me any person who get money in CES what have anything meaningful going on right now, Devon. Go around the country. Because just the last time, they talk about voters and certain names on the voters list, and then you see a set of names with citizen by investment, all kind of thing. You see a set of names. Let we see the set of names what get cess money.
Yeah.
If all you brave, let us see the set of names what get cess money. And let us see the cess money they get. If you have anything meaningful going on, I want somebody what get cess money to call here. Because that's Susu boss.
That's Susu boss. A lot of that cess money go to extension of house, who buy weed eater, who buy chainsaw, who buy cars. You know.
So play that clip for me one more time.
Who set up new business and the boss.
It is true, Mr. Speaker, that when we came into office, we met plenty money. Right? And the cess had plenty money.
You don't shame.
And he says, boss. Yeah. And the plenty money, go. Who take it? I don't know if it's Galaraga. But listen, let me hear the next one now. Because we balancing all that whole thing with Dennis and them.
In fact, Mr. Speaker, I would even go further. From a pure economic point of view and a pure economic analysis point of view to indicate the performance of government. If I had my way, I will introduce a new performance indicator in addition to what is there in the bill. And that one is referred to as the current account balance. And the current account balance is the difference between your current revenues and your current expenditure. And your current revenues are your tax revenues and your non-tax revenues. Yeah? And I've already explained what is your current expenditure. When you subtract your current revenues from the current expenditure, you obtain your current account balance. Mr. Speaker, that current account balance, from our numbers I would have recollected, has always been positive, and it as high as 5% of gross domestic product, which means that we have millions of dollars, which means that the government and our government has been able to collect enough revenue, tax and non-tax, to pay wages and salaries, to pay goods and services, to pay interest payments, and to pay transfer and subsidies, and still have a lot of money left. We call it a surplus. And that surplus could go directly, if you so desire, go directly into meeting your capital needs. Good? It could go directly into meeting your capital needs.
So let's go there, one. Because I dare words, you know. And Dennis, I don't put in my foot in my mouth. There are your words. So let's go. The government, when they came in, it is a fact that they meet plenty money. That is established. Whether all you vex all you say that now or not, that was said. Even the Seswat boss had plenty money. That is an irrebuttable fact. You know, you have irrebuttable presumption in the Prime Minister going on. Irrebuttable presumption in law that a boy under 14 years can commit a crime. Whether we like it or not, that is an irrebuttable presumption. So the fact, and the irrebuttable fact is, all you meet a lot of money. And the cess had a lot of money, but the cess boss. All you can deny that. Whether all you spin it 7 ways to Saturday, you won't cut it. Alright. So you meet plenty money. Because we balancing out that whole thing what he said there, you know, about the Fiscal Resilience Act and so on. Have we seen, Devon, any capital projects? We're talking about original capital project
Initiated
by this government. No.
We have not seen.
So we can't say the money going capital project.
Nope.
That is clear as day. Clear like 7 up. The surplus money the minister referred to, what happened with that money? What happened with the 5% GDP?
Salaries and wages.
What happened with SGU, who is our 20% of the GDP down here? Nothing will happen to them. What happened to the collection of money? Because all the places that they used to collect money still operational, like the port and so on. So what is the need? What is the need for that? The need to suspend is to spend money without account, without being accountable. That is the only reason they have in what? The escape clause for the Fiscal Resiliency Act to continue to. So they want to spend money to 2025, the people money. But what Dennis Cornwall is not telling the people that a portion of a deferred payment amount that is comprised of the interest will be converted into principal on and with effect from the relevant deferral date. The question is, Dennis, make the maths. How much monies of the deferred payment will be comprised into interest and put on the principal? How much money will be put on the principal? So when Andy Williams saying, oh, we don't take loan, but the $17 million or $34 million that will be added to the principal, the taxpayers have to pay it. Make the damn maths, Dennis. Where such interest is converted into the principal amount of debt security shall be increased in the amount of such deferred interest. Dennis, tell us how much it will cost the taxpayers of this country. Make the damn maths. Because if you still have all your revenue collecting places, SGU up and running, the Port Inland Revenue up and running, VAT up and running, all taxes, the levy on electricity and water up and running, VAT on sugar up and running, on cab gas tax up and running. What is the need to defer payment? Is it a sign that the economy is bad and you're only using that to use the CRIF money to prop up an economy in free fall? Dennis, make the maths. Yes. Are you me come for? You only did talking stupidness or the jackass. The jackass the brain, donkey the brain. We asking question. So we still want to know if you're making money or how much money you make in the last 835 days in the CBI.
One of the significant things, I mean, as you outlined, right? I mean, what these guys are doing, but what is significant, in my view, is the salary and wages over the last 2 years, the humongous, the enormous salaries that are being paid to members of this government, from the prime minister come down, right? And so, no wonder why we have so much problems when it comes to late payment and all these sort of things, because when you get in, you meet a fat treasury, you boast about it, over 500 million, CES had plenty money, monies that were, set aside there for projects and to continue projects, all these things, you abandon them and you utilize it to basically, in my view, to uphold the high salaries, right, that you continue to give to your people right close to you. Because if you, as a government, as a group of persons who came into government, right, met a salary gauge for ministers and so of what, let's say $7,000 per month. Within 12 months, perhaps I would say 14 months, you increase that by over 100%. I mean, where you ever hear that? You come in and you take an additional $7,000 and put on top of your salary. Plus, you allocate $10,000 for MPs to service their constituency, and we're realizing it's only a few of them MPs are getting. Some ain't getting at all. Where is the money going? Mr. Dennis Cornwall, Minister of Finance, what is going on? You guys need to put a cap on the amount of squandermania that is going on. Another key thing again that you guys were doing, for the last 2 years, no cap, no projects initiated by you. None whatsoever. Right? But my God, look. It's amazing, right? How we as a people, how Grenadians are comfortable, right? With the kind of cheap politics and corrupted practice that is taking place in our country. And we every day we hear and we get the facts, but yet for all we do nothing about it. It is time, people. Because if we continue
but here this another one, because you see, ministers who are MPs, $60,000 allowances, 5,000. $24,000 traveling allowances, 12,200, so like 5 and 2, 7, and 300 increase in basic ministers' salaries, increase of $87,000. The first two allowances is not taxed. So what we will look forward to in this budget coming up, Devon, some form of tax will visit us.
Yeah, not just one.
And they will lower the tax threshold from $3,000 maybe to $1,200 to tax everybody.
Mm-hmm. It's possible. Because in this situation we have going on, globally right now, right? They will look to make an excuse to level a number of taxes and talk about, world prices going up and this and that, They're looking for the excuses, as they did with Beryl. Right? You could imagine 1.5, perhaps 2 constituency out of 15 were damaged, but in their statement they craft it and say Grenada was devastated. Grenada is a state, part of the state was badly damaged, Carriacou and PT Martinique. So let's not use and paint the entire state of Grenada as if the state was damaged, so you have an excuse to squander the money that is allocated to help the people of Carriacou, PT Martinique, and the northern part of our country.
Let Lennox and you clear it up for them, get the second clip. Lennox will clear it up for them because let's Lennox.
In fact, Mr. Speaker, I would even go further.
Mm-hmm.
From a pure economic point of view and a pure economic analysis point of view to indicate the performance of government.
Mm-hmm.
If I had my way, I will introduce a new performance indicator in addition to what is there in the bill. And that one is referred to as the current account balance. And the current account balance is the difference between your current revenues and your current expenditure. And your current revenues are your tax revenues and your non-tax revenues. Yeah? And I've already explained what is your current expenditure. When you subtract your current revenues from the current expenditure, you obtain your current account balance. Mr. Speaker, that current account balance, from our numbers I would have recollected, has always been positive, and it as high as 5% of gross domestic product, which means that we have millions of dollars, which means that the government and our government has been able to collect enough revenue, tax and non-tax, to pay wages and salaries, to pay goods and services, to pay interest payments, and to pay transfer and subsidies and still have a lot of money left. We call it a surplus. And that surplus could go directly, if you so desire, go directly into meeting your capital needs. Good? It could go directly into meeting your capital needs.
So, Dennis Cornwall, what happens to the current revenue collection as against the expenditure? And tell us about the current account balance, which the gentleman said was positive, even 5% at GDP. Tell us, Dennis, make the maths. You bright, we don't. Make the maths. I hope you're intoxicated.
That has caused...
I don't know. Because you see, the gentleman say the revenue collection has been doing so well. So what happened now that they have to take this measure? Is it doing well again? Or your expenditure get more than your revenue? What happened to the current account balance? Is it positive anymore, Dennis?
No,
it's not 5% anymore of GDP?
The high wages and salaries eating it up every month. Eating it up. By what's going on to sustain all these high paying salaries and so and delegations going abroad, the expenses of government, they have basically tripled or quadrupled the expense of government within the last 2 years.
Remember, in 6 months, the traveling budget outdo maybe NNP in the whole 23
years in office.
Traveling.
So that should
imagine if in 6 months you spend more money. And whilst we at it, and I don't want to forget, as we on travel, the woman that traveled 24 times in 23 months, she knows who she is. And school children saying information suggesting that $600,000 is in their account after he was unemployed. So in the last 835 days, they say $600,000 in their account. I'm calling on the Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, and the Minister of Finance, Dennis Cornwall, to tell the lady the bill, the hotel bill of about 30,000. They say she the thing, I don't know what they say. Tell her to pay it back. Because if school children is right, and if there is 600,000 in the account, $34,000 shouldn't be hard to pay back.
No.
Make the woman pay back the taxpayers' money.
You see, Master Carl, as we continue to see, the spending, the high-end spending of these guys and girls, right? Traveling first class, right? Opting not to go to take a Zoom meeting, but opting to fly a plane wherever the meeting is and everything like that, just to spend and to gallivant the Grenadian people's money. They don't care. So right now, when you hear they have problems in paying salaries for teachers and finding money for the school feeding programs, and so this is one of the things that is hindering them. The expenses that they continue to incur when it comes to salaries and everything like that.
So 3 o'clock this morning, I lie down in my bed again. And I say, well, and the phone ring. And one question I just always ask them, where you get my number? And what are you calling me for?
3 o'clock in the morning.
They say, well, it's you alone, I don't say. So the police are calling.
Well, they have a right. They have a right to call.
I say,
yeah, they have a right.
Because I just call them affectionately, and I say, the po. So I say, po. What going on? The po say, you don't hear that the offer magistrate, the work of commissioner of police and the magistrate say, I say, no. Well, I say, well, I'm losing my Marco thing. So then, I took my Marco now about. I put it up and I take out my shades. And then I realize, yes, they offer a magistrate the commissionership.
A male or female?
I don't say in gender. How much male magistrate you in Grenada?
Presently is none.
Alright. Okay.
But,
So I don't say, so I ain't saying, I don't have to say nothing. Nobody can quote me and say what I don't say. So, Vanny, they don't have confidence in you, Vanny. What you do?
Vanny, make it make
Vanny,
sense.
what you eat and don't give them fellas and them?
What you rubbing with, Vanny?
Vanny, what they punishing you for? Well, Vanny, all of us know what you like.
Vanny, that snitch.
But a lot of people like that too, but I don't see they should punish you. They shouldn't punish a man for
that.
For a guilty pleasure.
Yes, I mean, that is part of nature. Yes.
Because I thought Randy cannot would have get the thing because but if they asking the magistrate and the magistrate say what assault.
Yeah. Perhaps the magistrate wasn't give him a gracious offer.
The magistrate might say me to go and put myself in that stupidness. So then the phone call, I go to put on the phone, they say, you there? I say, yes, who there? They say, you just talk about Grenville police station and you talk about they want to move them into the old MNIB building. What is not fit for human habitation. Because the Prime Minister during the last election made the police a topic and he talk about some of them places are not fit for human habitation. They say, what is the building there again? MNIB do fit for human habitation. So I say, well, yes, I see that they say, but you're forgetting those police stations and them on the west. They say, Guav, anytime the wave come, the station shaking. Like Jacob. You see, they tell me to walk with Jacob because Jacob doesn't walk and shake up. They say anytime the wave hit, Guav Igwe stick with me. The place shaking. They say, you have some room in the back. Beryl go with a 2 sheet or a galvanized. And water coming down. And go down in the armory.
Salt water in the armory.
And they say the armory smelling stink. Until a constable open the armory and they get sick. I don't call it gender, but they get sick. So, then it's carnival. You hold the pause. All you get CRIF money. They say CRIF money. They say the insurance money most times in disasters is for infrastructure.
Yeah, most of it.
They say don't forget Victoria. With the mask and the moles. No, they have to wait. We giving information or they will call just now.
Blight. Everything.
They say Grand Right with the rat on them. Well, I don't know. That's what they tell me. You know. So I get up, I jump out my bed like a madman and I put that on paper. I say I don't want to forget.
At all. And all of begging them for a walk through them rat and termites, they won't give me a walk.
They say go up in a deplorable state. They say you might get up a morning and the whole back of the station might move in the sea. And when I see that, you have a few police who doesn't please. But police were telling me to see that because they don't say nothing for them. They say, Massacre, only you want to say something and then we don't see something happening. They say the water coming down like time a rain falling go up. Same like Carrico. We talking about Carrico. What time a rain falling station in go up. All the water going down in the armory. So gun could jam. A man could take a gun and go out and try it and have to save some life and gun could jam.
That's a serious thing.
By how I buy so I sell, it's like parang. So if there any someone on the side waiting to put foot in my go and fix the station. Don't wait on me. I small fry.
What is the latest with the police headquarters on the carnage?
Well, ask Dennis again. All kind of money overrun, all kind of cost overrun. All kind of battle could pelt fire, could get hot like the judgment. I don't know. So, Mr. PM is the Minister of National Security, William Thompson. Yes, William Thompson, I'm calling your name. So go and tell KB about me again, I'm calling your name. Advise the Prime Minister to check out Guava, Victoria, and Grand Rye. I have Grand Rye in a nutmeg pool.
Yeah.
The rat and them having a nice time. Because all you had all remedy for police maladies. I tell the police, vote for all you. All you go do that. And then we come now to pay and grade.
Like that discussion just halt.
No, it going on.
Going on still. Okay. Well, that's good.
But the Prime Minister, who is a lawyer by profession, when you have labor issues, what you're discussing with the police now is not salary increase. It's normally something, as you say, he what say, 23 years. But he make a mistake, it wasn't 23 years, more than 23 years, but we giving him that. The other government do not know you want to come and pay only for upgrading in his skills. So constables go getting something. So it could well happen based on what they're proposing to give the police, that a constable might be working for more than a sergeant. Because if the constable are getting a kind of, or could get $900 or $1,200 increase, and the sergeant ain't only getting $400, the constable might be working for more than the sergeant. I don't know.
Well, definitely.
And then they go put them where they have to pay tax, all the police.
Tax bracket. Yeah.
So they don't help in. And then the NIS will increase.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it might not be better for the po, as I just call them. These are the issues what Whelan Thompson and them should check on, because the police are hot in Whelan. But they say they're afraid to talk to you. The police say they just want to talk to you, but when they see how you watching them, they're afraid.
Well, he's not. I agree. The police too don't talk to him.
Buy, so I sell. If you want to vex,
don't talk.
And when you meet KB again, tell him about me. I don't care.
He's not a receptive man.
Because the police are bringing it. If they don't bring any complaint to you, they bring it to me. Because they say they're afraid to approach you. So I don't know how you will do that to be more approachable.
Man, forget that.
Good afternoon, Senate Joseph. Senate is a man who could give better advice than that too. You know? You could tell him, man, let the police approach him with the problem. Because every time he's massacre, I go in Tongue, they pull me in a corner. I go in Grenville, they pull me in a corner. I go in Sorted, I go in Guava, they hang on me. I say, why?
Where is Senate right now?
I don't know, but he's a man, I know he's a fair guy. I know he like the police. So Senate, I call him here, they go tell you I call him, I know they like us do that. And I call Vanny name too. Yeah. Because I had to give Vanny a fair shake. I had treating Vanny like some stepson. And Vanny, in the whole lot of them up there, Vanny qualified to be commissioner. The whole construct up there, the one by the pasture, the king's son, the Don, the Randys, the moms, all of them.
Yeah,
all of them put together.
Yeah, he more of a broad.
They can put the thing in Vanny's shoe. Everybody know what Vanny like, all of us like that. Man like that. Yeah. So don't punish Vanny.
For some man
for
like that, yeah, what he do like. That's why
Vanny is not a guy. He don't like to work in the post office.
Yeah. So I feel like why he getting punished.
So don't punish Vanny for don't like him to work in the post office.
Yeah, he getting punished because of that. He don't want no post office work. At all.
So check Guava Police Station, the Armory in Guava, Victoria Station and Grand Rye. And still, in Guava Police Station, when the rain falling, police have to move the bed. But that's what they tell me. So I come here to advocate for the police. Because the police can't go on the radio and say that. I'll go make them lose their work. So they have to tell me. And who is the chairman of welfare? I think Inspector Noel. But then again, Inspector Noel, they brand you already. So if you go and say anything, they go say, thing, because that's who they say, who send you? and they move you from training school because they say they don't want you to be close to Tafawa Pier. So you being the chairman of the welfare, but that thing go hard for you to address.
It could be difficult. You got to step.
But you're working in Victoria, and you know the condition in Victoria, so you could start there. The chairman of welfare. Because the thing cocoonious.
And we cannot have our security officers, right, those responsible for securing the nation, right, living under these sort of conditions and being treated like that. See? And it's a shame on this government, the way in which they talk so much of the police and convince a number of them to vote for them because they would do this and they would do that. 2 years going now, and the police officers are still suffering and seeing problems for when it comes from uniform to salaries to conditions. The police officers who should be priority, right? The same money that these ministers take and raise on their salary, they could have taken that money and help the police officers because they ain't working, they ain't doing nothing. They're not earning that $20-something thousand a month. They're not working for it. That has been given to them to do what they please with it. But you know, one day the people of Grenada will ask them to account for it.
One day Kongote.
Yeah. You will have to account for it.
You
know, because it's outrageous. And one of the things, Master Kalam, while we're on this whole question of salaries and so, I just want to trip a bit to the whole question of the teachers and so who are not getting paid. Right? And so. Now, a lot of blame has come down on the workers in the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Finance, for late payment, for this and for that. They're trying to pass that buck to somebody, to blame somebody else. But you know the irony of this whole thing? 2 years ago, when this government came into office, this group of politicians came into office, one of the things that they were pivotal in doing is removing key persons within the different ministerial structure to enable them to get their work done. Right? And you hear what I said? To get their work done. Not the workers or not the people of Grenada, but their work done. Right? They put new persons, who's new PS, who's new SAO, who's department heads and everything like that. No. Because of the ineptness and the unorganized way, they are facing issues when it comes to the teachers getting their money on time. Some of them, not getting paid for 2 months, 3 months. And not just temporary teachers, they are permanent teachers who are experiencing that issue too. But some of them don't want to talk. But keep stifling it and see what will happen to you all. You understand? You're doing all of that. And then you turn around and you blaming the same people that you put in the positions to take care of your business. You turn around now and blaming them and saying that they are not doing the work to ensure that workers get their money on time. Ministers, Prime Minister, it's your people that you took and put there. You switch around all the PSs, the SAOs, the department heads to ensure that your work is being done. No, you're blaming your own workers. Make it make sense.
But they were not only the teachers that are getting paid, the police officers from the 1st of April 2024 who was acting, stop get paid. They confirm a few. And those who are continuing to act still don't getting acting allowance. So when you hear about nurses, the same thing. So it's not only teachers.
Master Kala, I've come to the conclusion that there is a shortage of finance in this government.
Well,
when it comes
it is clear.
Yeah.
If what Lennox Andrew tell us is true, something happened on the road to Damascus.
Yeah.
The current account balance is not positive.
Something went wrong within
And
that
because, and you see, we have to take that into context. Because of how this government is governing, says boss, plenty money, we meet. So donor agencies and countries saying, well, them have plenty money.
Of course.
They're giving away cess. Ministers taking pay for themselves. So that
the
is why the amount of grants
dwindle. You know?
So the economy is not doing well.
Yeah. You see, and the thing is, the unions, they continue to surprise me. Well, not surprise me, but disappoint me. Because, you know, a couple of years ago, when the unions and them are negotiating with government for 2% and 4% and 5%, even 13%, you understand? They think and they out there, they militant and whatever. This last negotiations with the union, 13% over how much years? You know, and the unions, so disappointed in you all. You sit there and you watch government ministers raise their pay 100% plus, and you say nothing. You don't even come out and take a press conference and say, no, we cannot tolerate that. It is wrong. You said nothing. Yet for all, you telling the workers that you are truly their representatives. I'm disappointed in you all.
But listen this there on. When they were negotiating with the unions and the police, they said that we cannot give you more because of the constraint of the fiscal wasn't the Fiscal Resiliency Act then. We cannot give you more because 9% of GDP. As soon as the teachers and the union sign, they move the 9% GDP to 13% to allow salary and wages to take money for themselves. Trickery.
To give themselves room to take money for themselves. You know, dishonest, deceitful group of politicians, right? Them and their advisors. I mean, these things are criminal, you know. And you guys will have to answer to it. But the unions is a bit surprising to me. The militancy of the unions when it comes to benefits for its workers and everything like that. Look at right now you have workers not even getting pay. Workers still getting underpay. The government, who is the employer, still not adhering to the rules and guidelines that they set down when it comes to the minimum wage. They continue to pay certain category of workers under the minimum wage, and they are proud of that. Some of them, they're not paying even NIS for them. And the unions sit there and not even giving those workers a voice. You're not the union for just those workers that are in the front line. You are a union. Your leadership should extend to all workers. All workers in this nation, you should stand for them. You should never tolerate, what this government is doing to the workers at this point in time. Hiking their salary and not paying the workers who are working more than them every day. Not even paying them the minimum wage.
You are Colgate?
How terrible and deceitful you guys are.
I'll take it.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Not too bad, my friend.
Do you realize the second Prime Minister is playing a very good role? Right now, you're reaching the Minister of Education and the Deputy Minister of Education.
Acting Minister of Education.
From one way to the next, in a different way. You realize that Prime Minister himself promoting that man to do what he wants to do and what he could do.
And he's a confessed thief.
Yeah, but you understand what's going on between them? All of them has a role playing together. These girls and them, sorry for saying girls, these people and them doing what they want, but God ain't sleeping.
No.
They continue, they're moving from one corner to the other. You know, from ISP, how they call it? TI, whatever they call it. What he doing? And then he gone in labor, he did in education, he did everywhere. Who promoting who? And unmarry that little fool, excuse me. God is good. Anyway, let me just sit around because I'll get emotional. Have a good evening.
All right, my friend. Look at how these politicians are treating our brothers and sisters in Carriacou.
Yes, take a break there when I come back.
You tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes, yeah. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over. They unleash their lawyer, set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley.
But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw.
I don't need to close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle
Now,
Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So me plea are repeating.
go
They're like a natural disaster.
Now.
10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on their knees. And I'm begging, go now, and I did what we prophesy to the country. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing, go now. This is my humble petition. Announce the date for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff their pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before
things fall apart and the riot starts.
even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation.
Go
To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas and
down on the knees.
And I'm begging, go now. They try to stick me with rage me. They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. That's why I'm singing. Please, Mrs. Kamla. Take Munila and Sharma. Go now, please. Them and their minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick. Swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat-eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni. Sweet man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful,
Gone through it to pull.
don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they does follow.
Now,
Before we regret tomorrow, please. You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample. Go. It's only vice they desire. Before the 5 years expire, like a dog with fleas and
down on the knees.
and a bleeding go now. Before we end in bankruptcy. Before they empty the treasury, streams turn into rivers, then into seas.
One hit at a time. The best music on the best radio. Real FM.
Jason Joseph, Big J does say, I want to fall. Me, I want to fall. I want to stand up and sing. Everything appeared so easy for the new PM in the city. I say this man is a magician with his golden pen in his hand. See me waiting for miracles, but all I get in is basket and brambles. With lawyer tactics so he could deceive, cause we so gullible and so naive. By the stroke of a pen, massive increase in salaries. They were broke, so no more money worry. By the stroke of a pen, a whole family on the breadline. A special need child, he was only 9. By the stroke of a pen, embezzlement in lotto, so you had to make Laco go. By the stroke of a pen, the bus flies in helicopter to see kayaks wet in rainwater. The pen never drink, the pen never smoke, but somehow that pen catch a stroke. I say this man can be serious, like he out to puppy show us. Running our country is no game. It's not about the likes and fame. You promise sun, wind and rain. What or not, you won't promise again. And in the same breath, you're changing your mind. No paper to be signed. By the stroke of a pen, free money in GDP, but you must be in certain category. By the stroke of a pen, Chinese houses were snatched away. 70,000 they cannot pay. By the stroke of a pen, we planting only black pepper, forget coconut, meg and banana. By the stroke of a pen, make me an ambassador to Dubai, China or Russia. What happened to the damn pen? I don't know. Maybe the ink just stopped flowing. Back on your promises, with your eloquence come say that with ease. People will certainly understand. Don't afraid to be a man. The country has never been had so. Use the pen, let some money go. You said we deserve a lot of money. Was that election gimmickry? By the stroke of a pen, bring me on the plane with you, foreign minister can help you. By the stroke of a pen, kayaks running from Beryl. You shut down the houses that was cruel. By the stroke of a pen, you promise our healthcare will be the best in the hemisphere. By the stroke of a pen, but infant mortality keep hurting family. The pen never drink, the pen never smoke. Somehow the damn pen get a stroke. They say 2 days walk on a boat bridge cost 90,000. I wonder in whose hand that money gone. 200 houses each at 50 grand can never be 15 million. I wonder in whose hand.
91.5 Real FM got you covered.
You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an next car and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with mag wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive.
We go entertain some calls now, so people are free to call in.
We there. Call us, share the information with us.
So the question is, where all the money go?
Yes.
Because you meet a lot of money, even says.
And 2 years.
Your capital expenditure, capital account balance was positive, or should be positive based on your pronouncement, 5% of GDP. So why the people in Carrick continue to suffer?
And you know what's amazing too? Not just all that money they meet, you know. In their first budget, they borrowed $100 million, you know.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, welcome.
The voice of one crying out in the wilderness.
Cry out, scream out, Pastor.
A pleasant good afternoon to each and every one of us. After the proroguing of Parliament, I repeat, after the proroguing of Parliament and the reopening of the third Parliament, Canadians who listened to the throne speech by the Governor General and the words of Deacon Mitchell, Grenadians, I am of the opinion that Grenada is in deep trouble. If I had any doubt in my mind, although I have a lot of doubt that Deacon Mitchell knows nothing about leadership, after the reopening of Parliament and you heard that young man speak, he do not have a clue of what he is saying. Lord, have mercy on us. A group of people just sit down and planned 3 years ago how to get into government to enrich themselves. The leader of these people was Deacon Mitchell. And they also sit down and plan, what can we say, what can we do to convince the Grenadian people to vote for us? So they decide to lie, and they will lie. They plan to convince Grenadians that they can do better than the NNP administration. About 3 years after that, they failed miserable. Master Call and the listening audience, Devon, come on, tell me something. Grenadians are suffering. Why last week, Monday, the authority, the Grenadian government, chartered SVGA, 14 of them on board. 14 of them on board. We don't know, the Minister of Health was missing in action. He get himself on board SVGA too, you know. Oh, the foreman get himself on SVGA while he missing in action as the Minister of Health, you know.
He learned to fly with the opening of the fall farm.
You don't see the Minister of Agriculture. The man was on top SVGA too, you know. Heading to St. Vincent, heading to Carriacou. Mr. Ralph Gonzalez, anytime they call for SVGA, send it quick for them to chatter for you to build Union Island and St. Vincent for you people. You're damn right.
Make a money.
Because you never tell them they're taking SVGA too often they could take the boat. Because you never tell them that. You is a sensible Prime Minister. Take all the craft money and build Union Island, mostly Canarum Island and Bigway. They're too stupid and show off and brag. And while they're doing that, you go come and tell me how you go. But are you idle? Are you not nothing to do? Are you go up there and those teachers was about to give them children a meal and you tell them to wait? Let me give them the food and a piece of watermelon. And the very said children that are you giving food and tell them, are you love those little children in Carriacou, the parents who have roof over their head. Look at the amount of money that the ambassador in Dubai is getting. Look at the amount of money you're paying for your children to take school. And there is information to suggest you rent a penthouse for your children. While little Grenadian children, you send letters for parents. No food in school. Put a little piece of food in a file paper and come with it. That's a sin. In the midst of a disaster, Master Kala, you listen. In the midst of a disaster, why you, Dick and Mitchell, could not tell the CARICOM leaders, hey bro, you see these CARICOM heads of government that all you want to hold at this present time. I can't make that, because my country present right now is in trouble. The little craft money we get, there is information to suggest you take millions of dollars. Something called a CARICOM runs about, which can be able to endanger the life of a lot of vehicles traveling to that section. Is that wisdom? Is that wisdom? Are you coming and are you about to plan National Heroes Day? A set of money again. National Heroes Day. Who is the heroes we have in Grenada? Who are the heroes we have in Grenada? Where are the craft money? 14 days after a disaster of burial, $118 million come. Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Minister of Finance, where can you give me an account? Give Grenadian people an account, sir, of the $118 million from CREF. Where is the money? While the Carriacou people are still suffering, what are you doing with the money?
Pastor, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Is there any evidence, right? I mean, you have seen in Carriacou that the government is doing anything to rebuild houses and so for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique?
Yes, Mr. Devon. Devon, the only evidence there that to prove that something is going on is this government is spending millions of dollars on NDC political activists. When you, the Prime Minister, could have flown into Carriacou and go to Kim radio station and Kim that said that not me and you offer to help him, just tell me what you want. And you spend thousands and thousands to build back. The people that is building in Carriacou now is people that could afford to build back.
What about the proposed housing scheme across from the somewhere in Dumfries that they are proposing to build? Have you gathered any information of that?
Well, the building of this little place that they building there, and let me tell you something, they building it, they have a good plan because if when they finish building, you go on more disaster if a hurricane come. And the only reason why they're building this place in Dumfries and rich the people have to pay for it. Most of the people, and hear me out, most of the people that will be occupying these houses in Dumfries are people that was squatting on government land in a place called Brunswick, better known as the Mangroves. Because they do not want these people to build back house in the Mangroves because they have intention of expanding the airport, Lauriston Airport. So they're going to relocate these people that have nothing to do with people that get destroyed with the houses to build back in Carriacou.
Okay, thank you.
And that is the reason why they're doing these little shallow houses down there, is to relocate the people that build in the mangroves. Get it? Get it? We ain't amount of money. Teachers can get paid. Why are you flying an SG, VGA, and one ambassador is getting so much money for he and his children? Grenadians are suffering. And as I come to that conclusion right here, I understand. I want you, Miss Matterson, to call me. And if what I'm hearing is true, that's a shame, because there are information to suggest that they start giving Carrico people $15,000. Listen, drama, and listen, Cartoon Network. They're giving $15,000. That's what they say. I don't know if that is true. To the people that get damaged. So they're going to take this agreement. They're not giving them cash, but they will take that agreement and go by Paddy's enterprise and get the material from Paddy. But listen what I'm hearing. I understand Paddy don't have no material, but you're still giving people the document to give us the impression that things are taking place. One more question I want to ask Deacon Mitchell. Mr. Deacon Mitchell, with all your bunch of ministers who are enriching themselves, a young little girl from Guav just come into office and have $600,000 on she account.
They say that. They say that. They say that.
Huh?
They say that.
Tell me something. It is alleged over $600,000. Where that money come out?
So tell her to pay the money, the hotel. Tell her pay back the hotel money.
Where is that money? Listen, Mr. Carl, what is taking place in our beautiful island when our poor people are bowing out? You have workers on Grand Bar Estate. Let me ask you a question. Those, you is the Minister of Agriculture, find out who is the people that is removing the NIS money from the workers in Grand Bar Estate and other estates, but that money is not being paid to NIS. Do that investigation for Pastor Lewis for me, please. Do that investigation. And finally, after the suffocation of Grenadians, Deacon Mitchell, after all, what are you doing? The people is balling, teachers is balling, police officers is balling. All you want people to come back and vote for all you? Come. In Jesus' name, I rest my case. Take care.
Have a blessed evening, Pastor. A shout out to all the listeners and viewers who may be celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to all of you, wherever you are. All right, happy birthday from Independent Talk.
What happened to the money, Devon?
The money.
Excess money, boss. They meet a lot of money. They get 100 million from the Saudis.
What happened to the
they
money?
Collecting money. They had what they call it? Excess surplus. All of a sudden, what happened? Where that money go?
Yeah. Remember the guy, Mr. Mordecai from SGU, promised the government some $80 million. And so they
collected. But how many get hiding? We go. I know we would have find them out, you know.
Soon coming.
I know they would have find them out. Now they saying they are to think. But the thing is then it's how much. How you guys see? Because the taxpayers are going to pay that and NMP are going to pay that money because the portion of deferred payment. Let me take the call.
Dry season they can hide. Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, afternoon. What's up, man?
Not too bad.
Hey.
All right. What else?
You good?
Man, you see, yeah, man. Awesome.
When you coming back that side again?
Well, let me see, boy. When
the next time you come here, look for me, man.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. Let me tell you, when this government lost election again, I'm telling you, they're done. There is no more. They're not coming back. The brown is finished, over with. Maybe a new set of people might have to try to get a new party. This NDC done completely. Deacon Mitchell spoiled the brown because what had happened, the people give him a fair chance to see what he's going to do. And what he doing? He destroying the country. he and the two amigos that run in the country. The two amigos that run the country. And they're getting fat like lush. And that's what's going on in Grenada. This is the situation that's going on in Grenada. I can't believe a nice little beautiful country like that has to be in a situation with bad leadership. There is a saying, where there is no vision,
Yes.
the people perish.
Definitely.
And I rest my case.
All right. Let me take it one time. Hello? Hi.
Good afternoon.
Who's that?
Is the money? Good afternoon. Welcome. Hello.
Hello, Igwe. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Miss Madison.
And good afternoon to Mr. Carl and
Yay.
Evan.
Good
afternoon to you all. Oh, I'm listening to your program. I miss out quite a lot because I was a bit late. But I was listening. I also want to say to you, I was listening to a program this morning, and I heard someone from Carriacou talking about Carriacou and saying that how Carriacou is doing better. Carriacou is looking nice now. I'm telling you, you come to Carriacou and go to Hillsborough. I don't know what it looks like. The place, as I said before, you remember, it's not, you can't even remember it anymore. In fact, you don't even know where it was. So I don't know what he's talking about. The Carriacou is doing better. People going to people's house will even do better. People building back. I don't know what he's talking about. He talk about the supermarket. There is only like four supermarkets in Carriacou. One is Mills, Matheson is there, but because the storehouse has been demolished damaged by burial, so they can't buy a lot of stuff and store it away. So whatever they have, they put on the shelf. Then you go to Mills, yes, you're getting something. Then you go to Harveyville, yes, you see Alexis and Richie there. Then you might get something. You might get something, what you want. Because the early bird catch the best one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to do in Carriacou. There isn't nothing much. So I don't know what he's talking about and saying Carriacou doing better. Carriacou people is suffering. He said they're going to build back house for the people, nice houses for the people to live in. But I'm telling you, the house that Pastor Lewis is talking about right now is behind me, as I told you before, and they're lining it up right now. I started doing they cleared the land and they're lining up. I'm seeing that right now as we speak. I'm seeing it. So, and the house they're giving them, Mr. Carl and Devon, do you know what is prefab house?
Yes.
They say they're waiting for 27 house to come in. You know what is prefab? I have a friend who come from the diaspora, and he came down with a lot of prefab material because he was building his house. And when burial come, everything just melts like snow ice. That's the worst thing he could have done. So when a heavy rain come and this prefab house start to get the water, it's going to mash up. I have a little bit of, some of the furnitures they're building nowadays. It's not really good wood.
Compressed
wood. They
look
good, they look solid, and when you breathe in us, everything just melts away. You see like a pile of sawdust on the ground because the water gets into it. But when you're looking at them, it looks beautiful. Table, cabinet, everything just gone. So I don't know what they're talking about prefab house. The government should be ashamed of themselves.
Miss Madison,
to lower the people's standard in Carriacou.
Miss Madison, I want to.
Carriacou will build.
I want to ask you a question. Pardon? Yes. Sorry for the interruption, but I want to ask you a question. It's about the water situation in Carriacou. Now, I know Carriacouians and PT Martinicans over the years, right, we used to do rain harvesting, right, to ensure that they have water right through the year. What is the current situation with persons as it relates to water?
Well, at the moment, some people, we pray for the rain to come. Some of us say, I want the rain to come. I want the rain to come, but I don't want the rain to come. Because when it comes now, I have to set barrel and catch water. Even though the water is in the cistern right now, we have to take a bucket to get the water from the cistern. And some of us, we can't even do it. So therefore now, we are begging God, please. And the house haven't got no spouting, so we could harvest the rain, to harvest the rainwater. Is when you have the spouting, you'll be able to catch water to enable us to save the water for the next dry season. So at this present moment, because we cannot catch water, we cannot harvest no rainwater at the moment, despite the rain is coming frequently, yeah, the water is in the cistern, it will dry up because we can't catch none. And we're seeing all this blessed water God sent for us just running away. It's coming down in abundance from the tarpaulin from the house. Then you see that somewhere, I see they giving away black tank. They should be, and he was saying the people in Carrico getting black tank to catch water. They don't give nobody, they're giving people black tank, as he said, the farmers. But some people has already told Mr. Carl, that some people get 4, some people get 5, some people say they get 6, some people get 3. They're saying it's for the farmers. If you go now, and you go and you say you want a black tank, you are not getting it. They have faces, they're watching faces. They're not looking after Carrico people. Carrico people is suffering. The tent the people living in is a shanty tongue. So they're saying, some people say they're going to get piece of wood and get piece of galvanized. That is shanty tongue. So the beautiful Carrico we had before, when people come to Carrico, they want to come back. They say, see you next year. They want to come back. Right now, they can't say, see you next year. So if the government don't help the people and build better structure for them to live in, what's going to happen is shanty tongue you're going to get in Carrico. Because everybody going to put up a piece of shack because they want to live. The government, when they're giving money, well, I'm going to take you up on that question again. Yes, party enterprise, you have to say how much material you want, what you need. You go there with a bit of paper or document, they stamp it for you, and they say go and get material. Not everybody get the material. Not everybody. Some people get, some people don't get. When my husband say he can't even go, because if you go, you haven't got time to wait in the queue, and it takes so long, and they're not giving you. Yes, they run out of material, because people is trying to get a little bit of material, so they run out of material. But there is someone else, the unfairness of the government. There is someone else have a warehouse full of material, he's selling material, right? But because it's NMP, why don't they give him that chance too? The same chance they gave to Mr. Robertson then, Party Enterprise. Why don't they give him the chance to allow people to go and purchase material there? They're not giving it to him because he's NMP. So they give it to somebody else who is NDC. Once you're NDC, you're good. You could put on your best petticoat on and go and dance. Because you is NDC. But once you is NMP, they bury you alive.
So there's
they don't like NMP people.
So there's another entity in Carrico that supplies lumber and is not being allowed to.
Yes.
Okay.
And the other.
And someone told me the warehouse is full up, but they're not giving no one notes. They're not stamping no one document to say you go there. Party Enterprise, they running out. They shut off. Because everybody going to there. But the other guy, they're not going to him. And because they're not going to him now, what happened? He's just there with the lumber. All the material is there. But
one other question is in terms of the system, the water collecting thing. One person said to me, if he stays too long without water, he could crack up too.
Well, yes.
So that means
it will.
So that means people might have to build over or fix.
Well, yes. You have to bail out all the water you have, and then you have to start afresh. So they could do much better for the people in Carrico. They have the means and they know how to do it. They have cash because the previous government make sure we were the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique was well secure because he have cash. That's hence the reason why he had the insurance to make sure we're not going to be beggy and hungry mouth, so we could be bought. We make sure of that. So
All right.
what they should have done, they should make sure that they help with the people in Carriacou. So as far as I'm concerned, they're not doing nothing for us. You're gonna hear, you wait. By the time Christmas come, you're gonna hear the people bawling in Carriacou. Because
right.
I told you, you're gonna come and you'll see shanty tongue in Carriacou. Carriacou is supposed to be nice tourist attraction. Everybody love Carriacou, but it wouldn't be like that because the people not getting help. And not only that, as I'm saying to you, next time I'm going to come on the radio, I just waiting. I go talk about the insurance. What they say, people paying insurance and having insurance for the property, and when the time come, they're getting nothing. It's a waste of time. But next time I will tell you.
All right.
Right?
Okay,
So
Miss
you have a
Madison.
nice day. God bless
And
you.
you too.
Yeah, God
All right,
bless you.
take care. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
bye-bye.
Yes, that was. We have a next call, huh? Gate? Yeah. Well,
I just want to big up Miss Vida Bruno Victor on being elected first vice president of the Pan Am Sports, the Olympic body that in the region. She make women and Grenada proud.
Yes.
So kudos to you. Kudos to you,
Hard
Vida.
working lady. And also, congratulations also to the West Indies women's team. All right, on 2020 team. Afi Fletcher, 3 for 22. West Indies beat Scotland.
Okay.
Right? Today, Afi Fletcher, the Grenadian, 3 for 22. Way to go, girl. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Devon,
Yes, my brother.
how you doing?
Not too bad.
How do you call you, Devon? Hey, right.
Hail the eyes.
Rastafari.
Enough respect.
Massacre.
Yo.
I searched for you until a week last week. I didn't find you.
But big I can be lost.
Boy, when I called you to tell you, I just dropped a fella from New York, come call me from New York on JetBlue. You know, I ain't Grenada here, and I know Kevin have $600,000 on share. Come here, the man do that, and I hear, you know, I ain't do that now. The man now tell me that, you know, I say I had to go and stuff now, and I had trained to massacre that thing, and I tell me, wow, you in Grenada here, and you ain't doing them, boy. I say, but you see, massacre, you see, information is on a need to know basis, and it's the first time in Grenada, I live in here, I live all my life, and I never see a democratic process go so ugly. So negative. A man asked me how the government going this morning. I asked him which one. And he told me, I said, well, where they live in? I can't tell you where they live. I know about them. I hear about them. So I don't know how we will make it from here on out.
So a man from New York know about the money?
Yes, I tell you, the man, I surprised when the man tell me, get a 600,000 and I come to say, how you know that? I live in England and you know that. So when Pastor Louis said it now, I struck. I said, I can't tell Massacre, look at that true, because the man tell me that. Yeah,
They say that?
Huh?
They say that?
Yeah, well, I listen. Okay, have a good evening.
All right, my friend.
Bless you.
Yes, it's you know, let's see the call.
The money are given to you with the insurance money from what the previous government. I put thing to get the insurance money to help build back when a disaster happens. You get money within 14 days. You had a money, you put $25 million in a bank for the cat and rat to watch. I know what the cat and rat do with it. And if people carry for suffering, teachers suffering, right? Policemen suffering, the vendors suffering, the road workers suffering. When they have to get money, they get paid late. Mr. Lekando said they have a lot of money. The amount of money they meet in the treasury. Where are the money? What they are doing with the money? Right? They spend on themselves, paying family a big set of money to go in Dubai and do what we here in Chile do other things, paying contract with which the government have $15,000. The lease, anything over that, you have to bid. Well, it raised to $100,000 to get a friend. And when they get a friend that money, they had to get a cut in it. I think this is corruption to the highest. Grenadians, yes. So you who vote for NDC, we know and you reckon that they made a mistake. The house is open. And there is a government waiting. There is a party waiting for you to come, waiting for you to come here and join them to bring back our country where it was before the last election. Come into the house. You will find rest and safety in that house. Have a blessed afternoon.
All right, my
All
friend.
right. The man say somebody from New York will tell him that.
Yeah. Grenada. Yes. Grenadians, our country need us. We need to mount a rescue mission against this group of parasites that we
terrorists
have in office. They are only concerned about enriching themselves. And we have the receipt for it. Within 2 years, they take over 100% raise in their salaries. Look at the luxurious living that they are living. When they fly in first class. You understand? When they're eating big. They're drinking rum in calabash
Chicken
and all.
caviar.
You understand? I'm drinking rum in calabash. Is what they do in the gala and everything like that. Good afternoon and welcome. Good afternoon.
What happened?
Hello.
Wasn't talking in the background.
Yeah, they're not. Look at what is going on with this group of politicians and their advisors and friends around them. They are only enriching themselves, but you know what? Their own supporters starting to catch up with them. Because they start complaining about only one set of them eating a food and others can't eat. They're not sharing the cake for their supporters. And I ain't talking about NNP and the wider section of the Grenadian people. We're talking about them and their supporters. Even them they are treating unfair. So imagine me and you. Good afternoon and welcome.
And the hurtful thing about it, is that we must see all that and hush. We must see all this atrocity and we must hush out. Don't say nothing. Don't talk.
Put hand in
Let
mouth.
we do what we doing. If I you see hush, if I you hear don't tell. What I remember did is Kit Mitchell. Demonstration all over Grenada. Botanical garden. Placard. In front bus terminus. And Kappa building. Union. Same NDC people demonstrating. But today, watch what is happening that never happened under Kit Mitchell. And we must fold our arm and don't say nothing. Not Pastor Louis. And I tell all you already, what I am saying here, what I am speaking, I'm speaking for the voiceless. I'm speaking for those that can cry. Because for my grandchildren and me coming generation. And as I tell all you already, when I'm born, I did not leave me mouth in me mama. I born with it. Have a good evening.
All right, my friend. See, and that is why in my opening comments, I emphasize, right? I emphasize the reasons why, as an organization, NNP, we have to continue to be united and focus on the task ahead of us. It would not be an easy task to get these guys out there. But by the grace of God, we have to get them out if Grenada has to survive. They are amassing a wealth, monies and all sorts of things, preparing for the next election when that is due. Understand? They are preparing to buy out this election, create chaos in our country to ensure that they win again for them to end up getting pension. Make no mistake about that, They have their objective. They want a second term so they could end up with a pension with thousands of dollars unheard of anywhere in the Caribbean. These are the kind of politicians that we have dealing with. But as an organization, NNP, we have to stay focused, united and do the work so we can remove these parasites from office and retake our country. This we have to do. We must do. for our children and our grandchildren's sake.
Okay. You getting a call?
Good afternoon and welcome.
For our children and our grandchildren.
Good afternoon.
This on the phone.
Please pay attention to the phone.
Hello, Devon.
Yes,
Hey.
good afternoon.
Devon.
Good afternoon.
Igwe.
Yay!
Eh?
Ade.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Igwe.
Mission accomplished.
Brain boy.
Yeah, you start to blow. I hear you blowing. Mission accomplished.
Can't brain.
But I ain't brain at all though. Don't worry, we gonna talk.
Yeah, the creature from the Black Lagoon say he coming for you, you know, Igwe.
Where you come?
The creature from the Black Lagoon, boy. This guy's and then put the pressure on. You know, a couple of the people in England tell me they want to hear something about Gloria where the creature say Gloria Damas, not Thomas, Damas. You got that tape? Could you play for us?
I don't have it on me, but I go prepare it for next week.
Okay, get it on there and play it for them, man. Yeah. People and them say, yes, the man, Gloria Damas. Anyhow, boy, you all doing a damn good job, boy. The people in England like that program so much. And they like the way you all get carrying on with these people and them, man. Give them the pressure. They don't have nothing to say. They backing back like crayfish, you know. They backing back.
It's like lobster.
Anyhow, Carl, take it easy, boy. Master Carl, boy, take care. And we go talk again.
We there, you man.
Devon?
All right, boss.
Right, okay, Dev.
All right, take care. Good.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Is
Devon. No. In recent times, we've heard things. There's information suggesting that he had some draft tournament in St. Patrick.
I heard something of that.
And information suggests that the Prime Minister, coaching what I'm saying, would have told somebody go to Andy for some money to sponsor. I think it was $30,000. So there's information out there suggesting that. Now, we always ask the question, who really running the show? Now, Lennox Andrew, they say he's a pensioner too.
Yeah.
Dennis Cornwall, they say he's a pensioner too.
Yeah.
And they say two of them work in the Ministry of Finance for a long time, so they should have an idea. Now, I'm going to play two clips to sing. So give me the first one with Mr. Andrew, Lennox Andrew. With the lady asking him the question.
My question, the Minister for Agriculture is actually linked to what the Minister of Finance would have said. The Minister of Agriculture mentioned $11.6 million that will be distributed, utilized to the average farmer or the fisher folks. Can he tell us whether or not the money for the fisher folk is from the CCREF course funding premium that we have? And would if the money for the agricultural people, is this from the CREF funding or the emergency funding and Section 22 of the Public Management Act? And when will government be going to the Parliament to get the necessary approval to supplementary budget?
Linda, for your question. But actually, the best person to answer that is the Minister of Finance, not the Minister of Agriculture. Anytime you talk about money, you have to go to the Minister of Finance, you know. But be that as it may, first of all, let me say, all expenditure comes from what is referred to as the consolidated fund. So whatever money government
government gets, it goes into the treasury. It's the part of the consolidated fund, and expenditures are made out of that fund. In government, we do not earmark resources. So we do not say, for example, that a particular source of income goes for a particular expense.
I just play that to see, so they ask him, you see, to ask the Minister of Finance. So play the Minister of Finance now for me.
A pleasant good night, everyone. Wayne Mitchell. I would like to ask any member of the head table, but I think since it has to do with finances, Minister of Finance would probably be able to answer this. I have not heard anything in regards to specifics for the cost of building one of those homes. So I would like to have an estimate in regards to the cost of building one of those homes. But also I would like to have an idea of the actual size, for example, of the 3-bedroom house. Thank you very much.
Okay, so because the question you asked speak to the specific size and cost of the house.
And money too, Dennis. He asked about money.
The Ministry of MIT or the housing or even the technicians on the head table.
MIT rule.
Give you those details. I do not
Alright, cut
want
it. to
give you information that I am.
So those Lennox and you cannot give. You see, ask Dennis.
Yeah, because rightly so.
When they ask Dennis, Dennis he ask Andy.
Yeah. So who is the finance minister?
You have to be Andy.
You have to be Andy. Because
and you're going on GBN and talking about make maths. The damn maths. Yeah. Make the damn maths.
Because if the prime minister.
The man ask you a question, you duck in. You go duck into a short ball. Good afternoon, Touch. I heard they say they send you on the put after Tevin calls you up and say he don't want you in Carrico. I hear you going on the put. I know you will do a good job on the put, Touch. Dennis don't even stand up and try to defend you. You hear all that happening to you, you try to think. And you just they talking thing out. You put in mouth and donkey. We make the maths. Yeah. Because they ask you. And then when you hear now, they say they're going to ask him for $30,000. Mm-hmm. So you know he in charge. Yeah. Then now,
yeah, the boss.
There's a lot of information with GDB and the what he used for security.
Yeah.
They say he sell it. So asking how they call him, Mr. Cruikshank.
Cruikshank, the manager of the bank.
Was there any agreement with GDB and Andy for Andy to bring in $300,000 and get back the security,
which happened to be the house? Yeah.
$300,000. And if so, in 835 days, Andy broke. Check bouncing left, right, and center. He say he nearly go in jail. How he raised that $300,000? You see what going on with them?
The money.
How you raise that $300,000 to get back the security? And then you hear about the 600,000. So all broke people pocket get heavier. So you could imagine if these two hungry mouth and broke could raise 300,000 and they say they are 600,000, or what they say. You could imagine them fellas them what they have a little bit out. What Dennis have?
Why nobody? CBI.
What the Prime Minister have?
Ooh. How much Ron have, boy?
The gracious offer?
Yeah, yes. Wow. That is why I reiterate the importance of us Grenadians to pay attention of these guys' activities. Right? The lucrative spending by these guys with their travels, right, and their accommodation, their spending patterns, the amount of money these guys are spending on pleasure and on themselves personally, they are eating up the country's resources. I want Grenadians to pay attention to that. I'm not sitting here saying that because I am NNP thing. There is information, enough evidence to show the reckless spending by this group of politicians. And we have to pay attention to it and put a stop to it. Grenadians, my people, I am warning you, right? I continue to express my concern when it comes to the pattern of spending, the wanton waste, right, by these politicians, giving all the people left, right, and center high salaries and big contracts and so. No wonder why teachers and students can't get money to support them. You wonder why? No wonder why you cannot see no projects whatsoever initiated by this present group of politicians. No way on the scene. You can't see none. It's only a continuation of what was there. It is so sad. What have they done with over $1 billion that they collected? 100 million from the Saudis, right? The cess money. The over $500 million that they met there, right? The treasury was pregnant. SGU money. The $180 million from QEF, plus other donation, over $1 billion they have in their hand to play with. And Grenadians cannot see the accountability. Uncle Tilly, say a word. Say a word, Uncle Tilly, for the accountability of the spending in our country. Yeah, you are the champion of accountability and transparency. Come out and appeal to the government that you support to be transparent. The NNP is on the move. We continue to be energized and organized. This Tuesday in St. Andrews, Southwest, right? GSS School, 6 p.m. The NNP will move to Southwest in its continued thrust to engaging and mobilizing its supporters and the people of Grenada, right? Where we will have one of our meetings, mass meetings, on Tuesday this week. Come out and support, especially the people in St. Andrews. Come out and ask questions. Come out and support, right, the different leads and MPs that is in St. Andrews. Come out in your numbers and show support for the NNP. It's Tuesday, this Tuesday at the GSS, right there in Grenville. Is the NNP. We on the move, and nobody ain't gonna stop us. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Devon Roman, and good afternoon, Mr. Zibwe.
Good afternoon, Sister
Good
Cams.
afternoon to Master Carl. Good afternoon to the Grenadians, go home and abroad. Yolan Smith, good afternoon, Yolan Bain, Hotspot. Good afternoon, Dr. Mitchell, Peter David, all the members. Devon, I lie down here listening to you. They are appealing to the Grenadian people. Devon, the reason, watch. To be honest, I know a lot of you don't like what I'm saying. I'm not sorry for us. I, Camille Theresa Scott, don't sorry for us for what Deacon, Cornwall, whoever, them they, Andrews, what they do. I don't sorry for us. You understand? Because I remember clearly, I don't get denied it. I remember clearly Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Modest, Mr. Randin, Peter, all the members during campaign time, they won with the Grenadian people. So when you're telling us pay attention and they want to win the next election, we that cause that nobody will stress me out right now to get no stroke. I don't get stroke for behind this. So it's good. Whatever it is, we take it in Grenada. We deserve that. We had a chance. We had a strong mind. And we go and vote because we want to change. You know what I said? It's whole. Yes. Yeah, it's sad that you have to go every Sunday and preach to the Grenadian people what are going on. I don't sorry for what's going on. You understand? You're talking about this Iran man that they brother that they in Dubai. Brother they split and school children say it's them the one that they in Dubai that is paying how much money for his wife and his children for schooling. That help them with money to win the election. But they will not bribe me for this next coming election. They can't bribe me. Nobody. No politician in Grenada cannot bribe me. I am living here and I know what is best for me and my family. So I know where I'm putting next. So you could cry from now till next year. What they do, they go do. We could find out how much money they have on their account. They're doing what they have to do. They wicked people and they just wicked. Because look at how much young people that is frustrated. Look at the same teachers that used to jump up and make noise. I don't know how true it is, because people saying it's not true. They say they can't get a salary. Even your own family, Devon, just come on the radio every morning and say that the country, my beloved Prime Minister, that they are doing very well. You understand? Your own family, that the government is doing well. Well, I know that they're not doing well because I know a man in Willis that the bad point is they give him a little security work. He hungry when he was walking and he just leave and go in a shop and buy a Coke. And they send him home. They send man home. Bad NDCI. They send him home. Right? And you have many others that is complaining. There's another old man that used to give me a hard time from Willis again. That tell me, Daddy, was government, Miss Kami? Daddy, was government? He listening this evening. You understand? So, whatever we get, we have to take it. You don't see when you get hit. Whatever we get hit, car could get lick up. The people they turn ungrateful to NNP. And they get real lick up. A lot of them get lick up. Because they say NNP didn't do nothing. Nothing they did. We are ungrateful people. We are ungrateful. So we have to take what we get, Mr. Devon. And if we don't want to talk to the children and come out and vote, to vote them out, they will go back there. You probably give them a chance. Yes. This morning a man come back to me, though he can't speak English. I don't know why he's telling me I have to pick a piece of stick and make him sign for him to come out my yard. Gold. And he's showing you what he has selling. The amount of foreign people are there in Grenada. Venezuelan, Mexican, people from India, all them places, Dubai. They're in Grenada. Yeah. They're getting ready because they're going to make them register. So if we don't want to do, we go and walk. And stop fighting against ourselves. Like I hear a guy from Paradise, Tito in the calling the radio day before and telling Dr. Mitchell to pass on the baton to Miss Eminence. Who gives him that authority? You have to know they have a constitution in the party and they have to do what they're supposed to do. You can't call in and tell him, Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell is a very educated man. He knows better than that. So if we don't have unity with ourselves as NSCites and the love, how are you want us to win the next election? We have to stop the bittering and stop the bad mouthing and bad mouthing one another and saying all kind of things about one another. I ain't coming and say what people tell me. I hear it in my head. I ain't come on this radio station and say people tell me, I am hearing in my own ears. Bossmen, people, civil servants, that's coming up to me and tell me, Miss Kami, look what's going on. I said, go and call and see for yourself. Don't come and tell me to call and say nothing. I could call a name. Because I living at me. And Mr. Deacon Mitchell, as the Prime Minister agreed with that CARICOM thing, and Mr. Andrews, I work under Andrews and them in the Ministry of Finance as the caretaker for years. They know that I is not for them. I didn't vote for them because they don't listen to the program, they don't listen to all of that programs. They don't have to watch me. They have to watch those around them. They have to watch them that they're around them. Because some of them, the parents was PRA. Deacon Mitchell, they drink the blood of Morris to overthrow Morris and kill him. Them are you have to watch, not Miss Kami, and running out the motor about me food. Me alone have a problem with my legs. There's hundreds of people that sick in this country. And they have to stop that. Because if I say what I have to say, I don't want to sue the station. Because I don't want nothing for you to sue. I don't want to have on me expire. Have a good day, Grenada. Patty, good afternoon to you and Matthew.
All right,
in Canada. Have a good evening. I clear my conscience.
Okay.
I don't want nothing to water. Because I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't want to like to hear what NSP saying. Are they on bus? Are they on the terminal? I go and pay a bill. They running them out. They coming up to me and saying, "Oh, Chami, why you cannot say?" Have a good evening. So you have to be very careful while you see. Yeah.
All right, comes.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Igwe. Now in light of, let me take the call. Good afternoon, how are you doing?
Good afternoon.
Hi, what's up?
I'm good.
Okay.
First time calling on the program, but I always listen in the program.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I find sometimes we as people, especially the people in NNP, we must know what to say on the station.
Mm-hmm.
Know what to say to people. We talk a little too much. I think this is something we have to keep for ourselves and leave it alone. No matter what happens, no matter what comes, just leave it alone. Sometimes it embarrasses me to hear NNP talk on the radio and talk so much and nonsense. And that's hurting me. That's all I have to say.
Okay. A word to the wise is sufficient. So in light of Lennox Andrew saying ask the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Finance saying ask Andy. So let me deal with Andy now. Because Andy tell all of us publicly he have no original ideas. Play it for the people to hear it.
Let me just tell you, I have no original idea. I have no original idea. Every idea that I have, I get it from someone.
So you see, any idea you get it from somebody. But then, you was sitting down on an airport and hear what he say.
Came up with that. I was in Carriacou on the airport, and the idea came to me. I had an architect right by me at the same time. I was in Carriacou on the airport, and the idea came to me. I had an architect right by me at the same time. And I said, listen, why can't we do both houses?
So, from do having any original idea, any idea somebody give to him, then he say he was on the airport and he get an idea. So let me balance that out with a clip by the Prime Minister.
This budget cycle include 1. The Stony Gut Climate Resilient Housing Development Pilot Project, which aims to construct modern, high-quality, climate-resilient Grenadian-style homes in Stony Gut in the parish of St. John. Construction.
So the man, he didn't lie without, he don't have an original idea, but he lied to say he was on the airport and he get idea with house. So he lied. Because the Prime Minister balanced that out. But to compound the situation and to speak to corruption, let me hear about the sweet spot.
My team and I from Selective Engineering are delighted to be part of this project, Build Back Better, because in our view, it's a project that will touch the lives of affected people, mainly burial. And when Mr. Minister engaged me, when he came up with the concept, I saw the drawing from Architect Lalji, And we spent some time and we got to a sweet spot from having a functional unit that is resilient, that is structurally sound, to one that is affordable. So the calls that Mr. Lalji was getting, I was getting it also. And then Mr. Honorable Minister Williams told me, say, this have to be done in 3 weeks. I juke my calculator, I say, Mr. Minister, it's impossible. Concrete, 3 to 7 days, you'll get 50% of the strength. We have to wait for certain things to cure to move on. Juice, we need it in 3 weeks. We had discussion with our contractors, other engineers, they say 8 weeks. So what we had to do was streamline the processes, and we did deliver a model house in 3.5 weeks. In the
So we still want to know what is the sweet spot. And where is the ethics or the ethical behavior of this guy? If you know something had to take 8 weeks, what happened? Or was the sweet spot responsible for you doing it in 3 weeks when you know it ought to be done in 8 weeks? And that is the crux of the matter, Igwe. So from a man who has no original ideas, anything people say, but we realize the Prime Minister already say that. Since in the best budget about his houses. So he lied, the idea was not easy, no airport, Igwe. So we have proven here that the guy has no original ideas. He don't know what he's talking about. But he happens to be the minister of everything. And that is a concern. Because if the minister of finance what holds the government purse string, when asked questions, say, ask Andy. No wonder why all the money they meet in the treasury and how they call the balance and surplus, we have to resort to do paying debt. Because maybe Andy taking all the money. Because if Andy is the go-to guy in every ministry, they ask Lennox Andrew, you say ask Dennis Cornwall. They ask Dennis Cornwall say ask Andy. And Andy say I have no original ideas, anything. So if he had no original ideas and somebody gonna tell him take the money, he go do it. You see, all idea he have is people that just give him. So if a man say rob the country blind, he go do it. And he don't have the moral standing. So what are we looking here for? So that should answer the question, where the money go? So like how we begin, Igwe, I want us to just go back and refresh the people's memory with Lennox Andrew. The 2 first clip with Lennox. Because you see, I don't like to just use my sayings for
It is true, Mr. Speaker, that when we came into office, we met plenty money. Right? And the CES had plenty money.
So the CES boss. Please that again, let people hear.
It is true, Mr. Speaker, that when we came into office, we met plenty money. Right? And the CES had plenty money.
So what happened to that money? Dennis, make the damn maths. What happened to that money? What happened to that surplus, which was 5% of GDP? What happened to the current account balance, which was positive? So let me hear the next one now, Igwe.
In fact, Speaker, I would even go further. From a pure economic point of view and a pure economic analysis point of view to indicate the performance of government. If I had my way, I will introduce a new performance indicator in addition to what is there in the bill. And that one is referred to as the current account balance. And the current account balance is the difference between your current revenues and your current expenditure. And your current revenues are your tax revenues and your non-tax revenues. Yeah? And I've already explained what is your current expenditure. When you subtract your current revenues from the current expenditure, you obtain your current account balance. Mr. Speaker, that current account balance, from our numbers I would have recollected, has always been positive, and it as high as 5% of gross domestic product, which means that we have millions of dollars, which means that the government and our government has been able to collect enough revenue, tax and non-tax, to pay wages and salaries, to pay goods and services, to pay interest payments, and to pay transfer and subsidies, and still have a lot of money left. We call it a surplus. And that surplus could go down.
So Dennis, what happened to the lot of money all you meet and the lot of money, the surplus? What happened to those monies in just 835 days, in just 27 months and 13 days that you have to let me be clear, that your government anticipate that the escape clause of the Fiscal Resiliency Act will continue? Is it a fact that I just want to spend monies unaccounted for? Because even in this thing, what you're proposing, how much money would, because I like to get to the thing, how much money would be placed on the principal? How much money will be converted from the interest to be placed on the principal? Some say 17 million, some say 34 million. So Dennis, please, I down on my knees. Make the damn maths. You win best maths. Make the maths. So if what Lennox Andrew saying is true, all you meet a lot of money, and are you collecting a lot of money surplus to go to the capital needs, fix Gulf Police Station, fix Victoria Police Station, fix Grand Rai Police Station, and accommodate the Grenville Police better in the MNIB building. That is simply to ask. Because all you ask, to whom much is given, much is required. The police give all you plenty vote. So nice them up now, man. Then it's make the mass for them. And fix the armory in Gov. And that water out coming down there smelling stink. Fix it. And the rat and them in Grand Rai. Do something about that. And the mole and so on in Victoria. Do something, because all you inherit a lot of money. Then are you collecting a lot of money, are you a surplus? So what is the current account balance at this stage, Mr. Cornwall? Is it positive or negative? Tell us. It's a simple question. So you don't have to get hot under the collar and make all kind of derogatory statement and make yourself look ordinary, because I warn you. Because I tell you what intoxication does do to people, but you don't listen in. We had that conversation already about intoxication, what it does do. So if you don't want to take counsel on intoxication, that is your business. But don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say Master Cal never advise you as to what the result of intoxication does be. I told you. So it's a matter for you to take counsel. You're not too big to learn. Intoxication, my friend, usually causes hallucination, which manufactures fabrication and creates delusion, which sends one in the wrong direction. And advice wouldn't break any bone, Mr. Cornwall. I'm just as simply advising you. And I still want to know how much money you make, or did you make any money from the CBI in the last 835 days? If yes, what you did with the money? Did you build any houses? Did you assist anybody with materials? Because we go know, you know. Because election go come and I go start to blah blah and say what all you do. And then we go ask, where you get the money? And then the place go open like book again, like our burial do it. So all you asking you, all in the morning, all you plan to follow no rules and to use the taxpayers' money without care. That is what the plan is, you know. Like a friend of mine, he sing a calypso and say, whistle should be blowing, callers should be showing. When you hear the callers start to show and the whistle start to blow, you advise them woman what to do. I won't say it here. So then it's make the maths. Because told say a lot of money. Real money. I meet plenty money. I collect plenty money. I have surplus. But one little hurricane after Carriacou, I don't want to pay that. Because I just want to use taxpayers' money without no care. I just want to follow no rules with money concern. Everybody want to fool the pocket. Everybody want to fool the boots. But there will come a time I just advising all the corruption do a statute date. Don't feel like I could run. And I think Grenada have some kind of extradition treaty with America too. I don't know. I think so. I don't sure. Somebody say that. I have to find out. Gates. So I just want to leave them. Because where the money gone, then it's make the maths for us because we don't understand. Because I'll meet a lot of money. And then I'll collect a lot of money. So the last thing with Mr. Andrews again for him. Because I want everybody in the nation to hear.
In fact, Mr. Speaker, I would even go further.
Yes.
From a pure economic point of view and a pure economic analysis point of view to indicate the performance of government. If I had my way, I will introduce a new performance indicator in addition to what is there in the bill. And that one is referred to as the current account balance. And the current account balance is the difference between your current revenues and your current expenditure. And your current revenues are your tax revenues and your non-tax revenues. Yeah? And I've already explained what is your current expenditure. When you subtract your current revenues from the current expenditure, you obtain your current account balance. Mr. Speaker, that current account balance, from our numbers I would have recollected, has always been positive, and it as high as 5% of gross domestic product, which means that we have millions of dollars, which means that the government and our government has been able to collect enough revenue, tax and non-tax, to pay wages and salaries, to pay goods and services, to pay interest payments, and to pay transfer and subsidies, and still have a lot of money left. We call it a surplus. And that surplus could go directly, if you so desire, go directly into meeting your capital needs. Good? It could go directly into meeting your capital needs.
So, Minister of Finance, please make the maths. Because I don't want when next election you come into the people and they go asking you these embarrassing questions on them. So answer them now. Please. Gates. So I want the people to understand that these guys are not here for the nation, the NDC people. They are here for themselves. They amplify corruption. And I always say it. I dey expect a little corruption, you know. But not without check or balance. Them men and them just blatantly plundering. And I call on Mr. Tillman Thomas, please, sir, ask those questions. We want to know if the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister is still CBI agents. They might tell you. Because we try to ask Dennis that, but he does course. So, please, Mr. Prime Minister, do the Grenadian public a favor and tell us as is. If you like to work in post office, say that too. If you're an agent, tell us. If you continue to eat fish and rice on Friday, say so. Because we want to know what we're supposed to know about the Prime Minister. We can sit down here and people from New York calling and say all kind of thing. We have to be in a position if we have to defend you, sir. We want to have the information to defend you. We can defend you when we don't know. Just how you come to the black pepper thing. And you're picking up spice thing. And the chuck to pick fruit. If you talk to us, we'll tell you, no, sir. No, you can't say that. That don't sound good. We'll advise you. We'll say, no, bad man. We'll say, don't try to work in post office and kind of thing. We'll advise you. Yeah, but you feel who is the enemy. What is your friend? And we really want to know the minister of everything. That thing is becoming too blatant now. And we want to know, Mr. Cornwall, what is the current account balance? Is it still positive? You what know? So make the damn maths, sir. Don't just sit only and hide. And what's the number again, Igwe?
4420175.
So you could call. You have about 5 minutes. You could call Larry Brango and set the record straight. Don't vex and end up in a, to do stupidness and right thing and make yourself look ordinary. If he's a man of substance, be a man of substance, Igwe. Yes, Igwe. 835 days. We are under pressure from the Congress, Igwe. The NIS for workers on Grambra and Boolong. I hope they fix that. Well, the teacher situation is a big joke, eh? Because on one side of the mouth, the teachers, President praising Andy, and on the other side, they're trying to blame persons and saying he's sabotage. They're a big joke. I personally don't take him seriously. I'm not taking him too serious. The health situation, Igwe, continues to be of concern to the nation because people are asking questions as to what happened to the infant and they were dying. What is the real scene? People still continue to clamor about medication. But health ought not to be colored or partisan, Igwe. Because sickness does not discriminate. Green getting sick, yellow getting sick, who or color getting sick. And the time has come when we stop making excuses. Making excuses does not help. Making excuses is not what people want to hear. Persons need to know where we are at, what have we done, what result we get, and how we could fix it. Because at the end of the day, what we have to do is for the children and the children's children, Igwe, and not necessarily for us. So let's not play games with health. And everybody should demand better, whether you support the NDC or not, whether you support NNP or not, whether you're on the fence or not. all should demand better Igwe. And that is the crux of the matter, Igwe. And that is where, Igwe, we end today's discussion. So you have to give me the song by the guy about the pain. Because people say they want to hear the pain song.
Jason Joseph, Big J does say, I want to fall. Me, I want to fall. I want to stand up and sing. Everything appeared so easy for the new PM in the city. I say this man is a magician with his golden pen in his hand. See me waiting for miracles, but all I get in is basket and brambles. With lawyer tactics so he could deceive, cause we so gullible and so naive. By the stroke of a pen, massive increase in salaries. They were broke, so no more money worry. By the stroke of a pen, a whole family on the breadline. A special need child, he was only 9. By the stroke of a pen, embezzlement in lotto, so you had to make Laco go. By the stroke of a pen, the boss flies in helicopter to see kayaks wet in rainwater. The pen never drink, the pen never smoke.